Really ever forget to record twice in one night, but it happened now. So let me go back. I mentioned that we're going over best practices for file. Sorry, I'm recapping. We're going over best practices for file management and clarity. So I mentioned that some geometry has to be turned off. If you want to turn off one geometry, you select the component here and you right-click it and you turn off the preview of that object. And so that point that used to show up right here is now gone. If I want to turn off multiple objects, I can select all of these and right-click, middle mouse click button to pull up the hotkey menu, and that one will turn off many. So if I go to disable preview on all of these, it won't do it, or it won't show it. And then I mentioned that some objects can be turned off that don't even really generate geometry anyway. I just turn them off just because I know that these two boxes being on are the only thing that I want on right now. It's kind of the general recap of that. But I do want to clarify here that I didn't mention before is that if you select all of these objects and you want to turn them all on, but you right-click it and you go to turn preview on, all it turns on is the one that you clicked. So if you're going to do a mass preview on-off, you have to use your middle mouse click to turn it on. And then middle mouse click to turn it off. Just best practice. And then I said that these can be changed by right-clicking the group and going to color. You can change the hue, the saturation, the darkness, and the transparency. And then the question was raised, how do I change the color of it here? And so you go to Mesh Colors under the Mesh tab, under the Primitive panel, and you drop that in. And I mentioned that sometimes, and you guys should remember this, so it's good that I'm recapping it for you. Sometimes the geometry will convert automatically into a mesh. Not all the time. So when you plug it in this case, it will convert it to a mesh. However, the color is predefined there, so you right-click it, and you can change the color on this menu. You can set multiple colors or a gradient of colors. But really, the easy way of just making it one color is to go back to params and go to input, and you just use this color swatch, and then you can plug that into C, and it makes it one solid color. So it's just those two components if you want it to render as a color. However, these colors do not incorporate transparencies or anything like that. Okay, so if you're going to do a mesh color, your best bet is to probably modify it here. Actually, I don't even know if it'll render that, to be honest. I don't think it does transparencies with mesh colors. Yeah, I don't think it does.
Can you do that color thing again? With the
Color swatch?
Yes.
Input, params, input, color swatch. Right here. Just plug it in, like that. Okay, so I would say use that sparingly, only if you absolutely have to use it to accentuate or find something maybe. There are a couple of instances where we use that. And I do have some exercises that I will show you later on down the road that go through colorization, gradients, and like applying them to for analysis and stuff like that. So it's actually a pretty useful tool for analysis. All right, questions? All right, sorry to make you sit through that twice, but we'll move on to another video here in a moment.